about us, we are a $19 billion a year revenue company. And if you look at market cap, last year was a significant milestone for us. Our market cap surpassed Intel's market cap, so that was a big deal for us. And I think today we're around 113 billion versus around 106 for Intel. So very, very big organization, growing very rapidly, 20% growth last year. And really that's being driven by the growth of mobile. And so we are very much behind that, want to see that growth. And also looking at developing regions as well is where we see the big growth going forward. The mature markets are starting to saturate. We're seeing replacement cycles, but we're not seeing big growth. So what we are looking to is the developing markets to see the growth there, and that's why Turkey is very interesting to us. So Qualcomm shipped 590 million chipsets last year. That was just last year, 590 million. So we are in the majority of handsets. We're the processor. We are the modem as well. And when you look at LTE, we have a strong lead on the LTE space. Have $27 billion of cash, so we do have sufficient cash to continue funding and looking for ways to invest that money. We have a horizontal business model, so we provide chipsets to all of the major OEMs. And so all of the major OEMs are partnered with us. All of the operators around the world partner with us. We work with all of the developers around the world, again, driving that ecosystem. So very broad spread into the ecosystem. So what are some of the things that a corporate venture capital player can do? What kind of value can a company like Qualcomm add? So there are a number of different things. One is the global distribution support. So I mentioned we're working with all of the OEMs, working with all of the operators around the world and developers. So if you're developing a company here in Turkey, you're successful here, you start here, and you want to expand, we can take you out, introduce you to handset OEMs, introduce you to operators, introduce you to all of the right players that you'll need to be able to expand into those other markets. Technical value add. This is also very important depending on what it is you're doing. But obviously, since we drive the majority of chipsets that go into handsets, if you want to know what are the latest technologies that are coming out, if you want to understand what are the latest APIs, how do you access the sensors? If you want to take information from the phone, but you want to do it in a low power way so you don't kill the battery, which is absolutely critical in many, many applications, then you can work with us and we can tell you, hey, look, these are some of the APIs that we have. This is how you can work together. This is the future technology roadmap. This is how you can do peer-to-peer communications. This is how you can notify the user. This is how you can determine what the user is doing through an API. So that can be very, very powerful. We also have a lot of work in augmented reality and computer vision. So if you want to use some of those technologies as well, we can help you there. Early market and handset access. So if you're trying to work out which devices you should be working on, or you're looking to really kind of bleeding edge and you want to work with the latest technologies, we can help you and say, hey, why don't you go talk to this OEM because they're introducing this handset which has exactly what you need. And this could be a great showcase for your application, for your service. So we can help you with that. And then also market data. If you're trying to work out which markets, which handsets, which operating system, which version of which operating system you want to be working with, we can help you with that. And we can tell you not only where things are today, but also where things are going tomorrow. If you look at the areas that we invest, okay, hopefully that's better. So, yeah, I was mentioning about 50% of our investments are in the sort of software services side. That's an area that we make a number of investments in. Then if you look, the next category down are components and semiconductors. So we've done a number of investments. There's one investment, for example, looking at wafer-level optics for next-generation cameras and sensors. We did a large investment in an accelerometer company that was very successful for us. So that's kind of on the components and semiconductors. On the infrastructure side, we also invest in companies, for example, femtocell company that is building the femtocells to provide coverage, small area coverage, which we think is a very big area going forward as network capacity continues to need to grow at a rate of approximately doubling of capacity each year. You get to about 1,000 times the capacity in 10 years, so you're going to need some big changes there. And then we kind of go down, and healthcare is an area for us that we're quite interested in addition to M2M. So it kind of gives you a feel for some of the areas that we look at. So in summary, I would say that when you're thinking about raising capital, which I'm sure the vast majority of you are, think about not only the traditional venture capital, but also think about corporate venture capital, but go into it with your eyes open, really understand what is the value that you can get out of that investment. You need to make sure that there's strong strategic alignment. You need to make sure that you are comfortable with your investment manager as well, because that person you're working with is going to be your contact back into the company that's going to help you get this value. And I think that's critical. Make sure that there won't be strategic issues going forward. You want to make sure that, you know, if the partner is trying to drive the overall ecosystem and you want to do that too, that's great alignment. And also make sure that the VC is committed to the space as well. You want to make sure someone who's going to be around for the long term